Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast with Dylan and Akram. For today's episode, we are reviewing episode 3 of She-Hulk. Akram, I don't know. I have some thoughts, but I'm a little disappointed with this episode. But tell me your thoughts.
This episode was really ass. This episode was this episode was ass. I'm flabbergasted, honestly. For me, the show kind of decreased in quality over time. I felt like it started okay with episode 1. Episode 2, if you guys want to look at our episode 2 review, please. And then episode 3 decreased. I hope
Don't
episode
force
4.
yourself.
Yeah, don't. Like, I must say, Wrecking Crew, guys, if you're a fan of the Wrecking Crew, you're not gonna like
Oh
these
my
guys.
God.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's just get right into it, Dylan.
Well, you know me in the last 2 reviews, I was trying to give this show the benefit of the doubt, but unfortunately after this episode I have to agree with the critics. Like you said, like the quality just went down. There are certain moments I do enjoy, but as far as like overall, it's so weird. It's like it tries to be a self-aware show,
Mm.
but then it falls short. It's like okay, you know what kind of show you are, because when she said like, oh, like what did she say? She was talking about like the cameos. She was like,
Right.
"Oh, this isn't gonna be a show where all these cameos show up. Oh, but we have Bruce and we have Wong and like all but
And
it's like
Meg the
motherfucker, but
Stallion.
Meg Thee Stallion." But I'm like, okay, well, obviously it is that kind of show. I was fucking laughing when she was like, "It's like remember who showed this?" I was like, "Daredevil's obviously at this
Right.
point." Shit. So I
Exactly.
don't know. It's a weird mixture. I can't really vibe too much with this show, and the episodes are way too short for me. Like I was saying in the last review, like I feel like Disney isn't fucking taking the show seriously enough to give it. I mean, this was actually on the longer end of like the episodes so far, but it really didn't deliver much as far as like anything impactful.
It really did not. Yeah, I think that Disney, we talked a little bit about this in episode 2. I think that they would really benefit if they figured out a situation where they could produce more content, and then you could have shows that are kind of like iffy. I understand they want to give creative freedom sometimes to certain directors and whatnot, but this creative freedom was misused. So it would have been nice if they did have like Echo, for example, like, oh, it's coming out next week, like to bombard people whilst they were making more shows. And then plus, if you released She-Hulk season 1 every episode together, I don't think a lot of people will talk that much shit about it, just because now we have to wait. So it's like, okay, we got to wait for movies, we got to wait for this show. So I felt like this really impacted the MCU really bad, and I think it was the final nail in the coffin, where a lot of critics were saying, well, the MCU's on a dying slope after Endgame or after No Way Home, as you said. And I kind of agree with that. And it makes me a little worried because there are great shows like Moon Knight. I actually really did enjoy Moon Knight. Like you were saying, there's some pacing issues. Um, but as for this episode, through the whole show, basically, there's this trial for Abomination. And also Pug is has his own thing going on with I told, excuse my language, I told Dylan that there's like this Asgardian elf whore that she's the most annoying character I've ever seen, and Pug is dealing with like this character all this time, right? What was the strongest thing for this episode, like, you feel? Because I know we have a lot of criticisms, but like, what was the strongest thing, at least, that you found for
The
this
strongest
episode?
thing was the alcohol I had to consume watching this episode. No, but well, I think the Abomination thing, like you said, the Asgardian bitch, like that was so stupid. I didn't see any point to that, honestly, other than like, oh, okay, well they deal with other like superhuman, I guess, like cases. Like I feel like we're gonna watch fucking like Judge Judy like next episode or some shit, or like Judge Mathis or somebody. Like I don't know, it was so stupid. But the Abomination thing, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. Like
Right.
I don't know. Like we were talking a little bit earlier. Like you said, maybe like Abomination. Maybe he's trying to like manipulate the court to like maybe he's still like evil like on the low, but like he's like faking this whole like I don't know, born again Christian act or some shit.
I
I don't
hope,
know
dude.
what. Yeah, but what did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I like, it's trying to be, it. when I was watching the show this episode, I just came off of Game of Thrones. I'm rewatching Game of Thrones to do our review for House of the Dragon, and so it's such a tone shift. And so when I was watching this show, I rolled my eyes so much, and I was just clawing at my chair waiting for this episode to be over. I never had that experience really. I felt like I was being forced. I remember when I used to go see a therapist a long time ago. They used to have these TV screens, and they used to play like Disney Channel shows, and the funny thing is this show reminded me so much of the tone of like those baby shows or like those like preteen shows. Sometimes it's some
Mm.
elements that kind of reminded me of that, this episode specifically. And it was so cringe, like I felt so cringe watching this. And Megan Thee Stallion, I never really heard her music, but you were saying something I'd like for you to tell people because it was exactly that, like this cameo. Tell us how, what did you think of the cameo,
I
like what it
swear to
was?
God, it felt like when you're watching a commercial and, like, they bring in all these, like, celebrity like, I felt like I was watching, like, a fucking Geico commercial or some shit,
Oh,
like, they bring, like, all these cameos in just to be like, "Oh, pay attention to us because we're still, involved with, like, reality and shit," so they bring in
right.
all these, like, celebrities. I'm like, "Oh my God," like, you can see, like, Shia LaBeouf, like, in the next episode or some shit,
He's like smashing. Well,
right?
we also talked a little bit about the woke thing that a lot of people were talking about. They show a little bit of B-roll, which you hate when they show like social media and stuff. I was thinking you
I
probably rolled
hate
your
it,
eyes.
right?
There was a lot of talk of like there was something about Me Too, and I chuckled when I saw that. Like I heard me hashtag Me Too, and I just chuckled for some reason.
Well,
But
I was like,
yeah.
that's the thing, why it's like it's trying to be self-aware because there was a scene where, like, they were, addressing, like, all the hate for She-Hulk, which is actually not so far from reality,
Right.
like, oh, why, they basically, like, all these people were, like, hating on She-Hulk. But then it's like but then the quality, like, it shifts, and it's just like, "Okay, well, then why should I care so much?" You know? It's like, what like, give me a bone here, She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, it's really hard for me to defend it when it's like, I don't think it deserves the hate, honestly, but it definitely doesn't deserve that much praise because it's, like, a very short series. It's like, I don't know, the characters, like, are really forgettable. Like, we were talking earlier, and I forgot what the friend's name was, honestly.
Nikki, yeah.
Nikki, whatever her name was, but I was like, I don't know. It's a weird scenario. I think Marvel for these miniseries, I feel like they don't give as much attention as they do their bigger projects, and I kind of wish they would treat them equally. You know?
Yeah. I Here's the thing, like that whole thing, if you want to make a moment or like some theme endearing, my favorite word, if you want to make it endearing, you don't do it like this. I don't know if they are like really self-aware. Like I think so. I think that they probably thought, "Oh, a lot of people are going to hate this character because she's the girl version of Hulk." But like she was in a comic, so we don't hate her. And then it's like, so you guys are putting all this B-roll and like talking shit about men here and there, or like saying like it is what it is, honey, I'm here, or something like that. But then you do something so corny and cheesy, it's like you're flaunting it. It's not
Hmm.
like this big revelation of like, wow, yeah, no, I'm wrong, you guys are right. Like she's in, yeah, she's very powerful. Like she, to me, this isn't like showcasing like a strong woman. If that's the case that they want to like kind of pursue, it just, there's nothing wrong with She-Hulk. There's nothing wrong with her being a Hulk. There's nothing wrong with her being a lawyer. There's nothing wrong with any strong females here. It's the fact that the show is bad. That's the problem, and I hope that they realize this.
And we were talking a little bit earlier. I was mentioning how, like, I feel like the stakes are really low in this show. Like,
Absolutely.
really, if you think about, and a lot of these MCU shows too, where it's like, you don't see many people die.
Yeah,
If
that's
they're
true.
not, like, the main villain, and sometimes they even come back too, so it's like, what's the point if they die off? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like the stakes are not big enough for me to care about, her character, because like, what is she really, like, what's her end goal, That she wants to be, like, a strong female, like, superhero, lawyer, whatever, because she already is. I mean,
Right.
she got a job at this, high firm, so she has, like, status. So I don't know. It's
She's accomplished already. I mean, the only thing now we have to see more of is the actual She-Hulk persona fighting crime, and I have a feeling that we're gonna see more of that pretty soon. Again, it's like 9 episodes, right? So I I would say there's plenty of time, but now I'm just desperate for you guys to, like, wrap it up, please, and show us, like,
Please
the goodies
take as
because
many shots as you need.
yeah, and listen, they ruin like and that's the funny thing too, a lot of people, they talk bad about, like, when a character is, like, race swapped or something like that, or, like, a character ends up being black and then the character was white. Alright, but you guys notice that if this show was, like, really maybe this show's woke, I don't know anymore, but they basically went against their own words or their own philosophy because the Wrecking Crew, they race swapped, like, a lot of like, there was, like, supposed to be, like, a black character, and they made him, like, white.
They made whitewashed them, yeah, so it's like, I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
anymore.
I
It's
don't
like
know what to feel.
it's trying to be woke, I feel like, but then it contradicts itself.
Right,
So it's like, why should I really pay attention?
exactly.
You know? It's like, I don't know. I don't know who wrote this show, honestly, but they need to rewrite it because it's so it makes me wanna rewatch Friends, that's how bad it
It
is.
makes me wanna fucking rewatch, like, another Disney Plus, Marvel show or something like that. I can't wait to the next one. I think the next one might be Echo. I hope that's better. I wasn't a big fan of Maya and Hawkeye. I
Mhm.
didn't really care much for her, but, hopefully that's more of a compelling
Well,
character.
I feel like that will be more interesting because we'll actually see, like, Echo, like, doing, like, superhero shit. That's the thing, like,
Mhm.
I know, like, Jennifer is, like, a lawyer and stuff, but the reason Daredevil worked, right, was because like, you show both sides of him, right? You show Matt Murdock's life and you show Daredevil's life. I feel like right now all we see is Jennifer Walters' life. Like I
Yeah.
kind of want to see her do more like the first episode she was doing like heroic shit. So why not, push that? Maybe we'll see that in the next 6 episodes, I don't know. But I feel like all this whole episode was basically like I don't know, like courtroom TV or some shit. Like we didn't see like any like heroic acts or anything. I mean it was I guess you could say like, this episode was about her trying to reclaim her identity because like she was on the news for a bit and she was talking about like, oh yeah, well she was trying to like control the narrative, like Emil was talking about, like they're gonna write a story about you, so you might as well take control of the narrative. But other than that, like I didn't really care much.
Yeah, for sure. The show suffers from like it feels like there's only one act happening. There isn't like three acts or something like that. Maybe there's two acts and then it ends too soon and it's too fast and then it's too cheesy. So you have like a sour taste in your mouth. And then plus when you try to like add your little agenda, if the agenda's good, whatever, but you kind of miss the mark each time. This episode completely did it. I didn't appreciate the Meg the Stallion. I don't care if she's there, but I just like for me, it was just
Dude, the
too
whole twerking like end credit scene
body,
was
body, body.
pointless. It was fucking pointless. Like
Yeah, it felt like this episode's written by like a soccer mom or something like that, or some or like some white lady that she's like maybe like 37 and like she thinks like, oh, I'm cool or whatever, and let me
she
write
thinks
this.
she
It
can write a screenplay, but then like
yeah,
she writes it and like nobody told her not to.
yeah, it was too cheesy. It was too corny. I didn't. I really think this show suffers from the lack of time that they have in each episode, and well, then again, like, what if they have a lot of time? Maybe it's gonna be even worse. I don't know. And also the lack of not releasing all of them. This is the one show I feel like you have to release the whole. I didn't feel like that for Moon Knight. I liked waiting, but like for this, you should release everything.
They should have at least posted like the first 3 episodes so you get the sour taste out of your mouth.
Yeah, that's very true. Or that's the thing. It's like if they release episode 1 to 3 and then episode 3 was like this ass, I wonder if people would actually be excited for like episode 4. But I
Right.
think people are less excited now for episode 4, especially when Daredevil comes because I don't know. That's the first time we're gonna see him in costume in the MCU, and
I'm a little worried, dude. I'm a little
I'm
worried.
sad. Yeah, I'm sad the show's handling that. I wish it was like Echo. I wish they kind of waited for Echo at least or something.
Well, I think the fact that they have to bring in so many cameos really shows that, that she can't survive on her own as a character, and I think that's really
Mm,
weak. Because she even addressed it. She's like, "Well, this is not gonna be that kind of show," but it is. You
yeah.
you have so many cameos, and I know Marvel does that a lot, after Endgame. But I feel like if you have to bring that many people in to make it look interesting, like, oh, we brought in you Matt Murdock, so pay attention to this, right? It's like, well, then nobody's gonna be paying attention to She-Hulk because we're gonna be so worried about like Abomination and Hulk and Matt Murdock. So it's like I feel like it's taking away from her story a bit. That's how I feel.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Yeah, I guess that's all our thoughts for She-Hulk episode 3. A lot of like criticism, a lot of heat. We hope that episode 4 will be better. What would you rate this, Dylan? What would you rate this episode?
Ooh, I'd have to give it a 5 out of 10.
Five.
Honestly.
You're too
Yeah,
generous. I give it like a 2. I really didn't like this episode. I give
right.
it a 2.
I don't know. Like I don't want it to fail. I want this show to succeed, but this episode showed me like they really didn't care much for, at least for the writing of this episode. They didn't care, but who knows? Maybe next episode or the rest of the show it'll change. Hopefully I want it to change.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, take us away, Akram.
guys, if you made it to end, again, we greatly appreciate you. As I say in every video, we always love you. We always appreciate you. Please, if you can support our channel, please like and subscribe and check out our other playlists. We just wrapped up Miss Marvel. I think we liked Miss Marvel a little bit more than we like She-Hulk so far. We do plenty of other shows coming up this September. We're going to do Handmaid's Tale. That's really exciting. We're also going to cover Andor. We have some reactions coming up pretty soon. They just revealed the next Assassin's Creed game. That's really cool. Assassin's Creed Mirage. I can't wait to talk about that in Ubisoft Forward. Hopefully D23 can show us a lot of content, a lot of TV shows coming out, and hopefully they're of quality. But again, I love you guys, so please, Dylan, take us away.
Yeah, and we also have Avatar is re-releasing in theaters, so we'll be revisiting that movie as well. So yeah, a lot of great stuff for this month. I can't wait to cover all the goodies. But thank you again, everybody that stick around for this review. Until then, thank you for having lunch with us.
See you guys.